Test 1 2. All right, there we go. That's a little better. Now it's working. All right, so we're here with Walter Rosati, who has been in the Toronto club scene for a little while now, starting back in the early 80s, spinning at Spectrum and Pepsi. From there, he has grown and expanded, holding residencies at Limelight, Meow, Lotus, and Alviva Nightclub every Friday night. Walter, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Like I said, we're starting back in about 1982. Started spinning records more of the, what did I call it? Quick urban funk sort of style. That was the predominant. House music at that time didn't really exist, and what happened is it did progress and became house music came about. First tracks like La Bra, Jack Your Body, Can You Dance really kind of caught the eye and the ear, and kind of got me hooked at that point. Continued on and started playing a lot of I guess more of the glam clubs. Touched into the rave scene a little bit early on, but I guess wasn't too pleased with a lot of the promoters that were out at the time, and just really concentrated on some of the bigger dance clubs at the time. You know, the ones that credible and paid bills, things like that. So kind of made it a little bit better to work for.
You've been all over the FM airwaves as well as the nightclub scene. What's the major difference between the two for you?
Between the nightclubs and, well, CanCon for one. If you're on before, I think it's before midnight, I'm not sure if it's changed, but there was, you had to pay a percentage of Canadian content. So when we did do, you know, some of the radio stations were actually pretty good about it, because when the live tears that we did at the time with Energy 108, what they did is they did help us out and load it up on Canadian content early. So we didn't, if the live tear came on at 10 o'clock, we didn't have to go too crazy about the Canadian content. It's not that we didn't want to play it, it just really wasn't a lot of quality stuff unless we were playing, you know, Euro or Capital Sound and things like that, but we never really got into that sound too much. So
has that changed of late? Is there a little more of a Canadian scene, or do you still find it very difficult yourself in promoting Canadian artists? Because I know I do.
Yeah. You know what? There's a lot of good Canadian talent out there that unfortunately the record labels are overlooking right now, which is really a shame. You know, you've got some really solid Canadian producers. You know, for one, Sound Blunts, who won two Junos and are so underrated, but you know, to actually be able to support their record deal, they got to put out a lot of commercial, you know, radio friendly stuff to actually move the product. But they've got so much good stuff, and there's tons. I heard something from St. Pete tonight, which was a remix that he did for Nelly Furtado, which was the bomb. You know, I turned around, I couldn't believe it that came out of, you know, not that he's not talented, I just couldn't believe that it actually came out that well. Solid, and there's great production happening through Canada. Just, we need the labels to jump on it and release it.
You've had the chance to spin along some big names such as Marco V, Dave Seaman, Johan Gielen, and New Energy of late. What's your favorite party been?
You know what, I like Johan. Johan is really, that guy is, you know what, he's got a talent, because what he does is he doesn't worry about, there's a lot of DJs who will come in and play their thing and not even look up at the crowd. And there's a lot of big name DJs who do that. They'll turn around and they'll play their set, and whatever their set is, if the crowd vibes, they vibe. If they don't, they don't. Johan comes in, that guy does not have a set list. He comes in, he plays what he's got to play, and he vibes off the crowd. That guy really knows how to party a crowd. He's great. Guys obviously like PVD are fantastic, but you know, PVD people are there, they're so hyped just when he's there anyways. And Tiesto, whether his set is good or whether the set bad, but you never get a bad set out of those guys. But Johan's probably got to be, and for Live PA, New Energy was great. They were really good too.
You've been with Temporal Rhythm and Destiny for a little while. How are they advancing your career?
You know, both those companies are solid companies, have good organizational skills, and are reputable. I think in this industry over the last few years, you've seen a lot of shady promoters, a lot of bad parties, and a lot of things happen that really, you know, Destiny's a solid company. Temporal Rhythm, you know, has a good stronghold on how to do things, and on the scene, they're, you know what, professionalism is there. Let's just put it like that. And I think it shows in the quality of parties and the bookings that they do. You know, you get respect out of the DJs want to come play, the internationals want to come play. Where, you know, with a lot of the other, you know, for me, just being a local didn't want to work for them. Imagine the internationals that didn't want to come and play. So I think it's helping the scene. For me, you get to play along with some really good people. So obviously exposure is great.
Looking forward, do we look to hear some production from you maybe?
You know what, if I had more time, I obviously would, but we're in the middle of a couple things which we were talking about. New club, Republic, which myself and a guy named Louis True are opening. The CD that we just released. So you know what? Inevitably, there's going to be some production. If it's not already there, ready to go, we'll see.
We'll get to your Addicted to Trance CD in a second. You said Republic. Tell the listeners a little bit about this new club.
Republic is a nightclub that myself and Louis Chu, who owns Vertex Sound and Lighting, PDI Laser, and we've been partners for a very long time in some other ventures. And we decided, hey, you know what? We're going to open up a nightclub. We've been doing it for a lot of other people, sound installs, promoting, and DJing. It's about time that we did it for ourselves. So what we did is we took a space in the heart of the entertainment district, literally, about 14,000 square feet, and are going to build a really, really, really nice club in there.
Any tentative launch date, maybe?
I'm looking for October, November of 2004. And it's going to cater, I guarantee you it'll cater to electronic dance music. But you know what, we're going to have different nights, different rooms. So I think we'll have something for everybody. And that's very important to me because there's still a lot of talent in the urban scene. There's a lot of talent in just the regular house scene. We are going to be open late, so we're going to have long-running set times. So I hope, I think we'll be able to take care of everybody.
Now, going back to your latest project, your new mixed album, Addicted to Trance, is out. What's going on with this?
That is a compilation that we convinced, not really convinced, but it was Virgin EMI, Popular Records, all under the EMI scheme of companies. And what we did is they were basically complaining about downloading, and a good friend of mine, Ryan Willock, and Corey Bradshaw, what they end up saying is, hey, this music's not selling, blah, 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 downloading, every excuse, and basically pointed out to him and said, this music's not available. So how are people supposed to get it other than downloading? And they said, we kind of did a little bit of research and said, see how much of the music was actually being downloaded. And, there was quite a bit. So we decided to make it available. And what we did with the first CD, it's called Addicted Session 1 Trance. And we recorded it live from Viva. And what we did is we went out and licensed a whole bunch of records. And we didn't really try to get anything that was going to be too off the wall or inaccessible to the regular public. What we did is we actually picked tracks that could be radio friendly, but really put in some good songs like the DK8, Murder Was the Bass. We put JS10 Nature, Tiesto Traffic, the Montana Mix. There's a ton of really good tracks on it, and I think whether you're a true trance lover or just somebody who wants to listen to some really banging tunes, I think it's accessible to everybody.
No, we're actually going to be giving the listeners a chance to hear that in the next few hours, so that should be a good thing coming up. In regards to that, you said, is that your counter to MP3s and pirating music online?
No, I don't think it's, MP3s and music trading is always going to have a home. I think some revenue has to go back to the artists, or else they're going to stop doing it. It's like, why bother? The thing is it's making available. Like a lot of people say, well, I got to download it, and it's true, they do have to download it. You go to HMV to get a track, you don't want to wait 3 weeks. Somebody's got to take the initiative to actually get it out. EMI, they're taking the initiative to put it out and make it available. Session 2 is house. Session 3, I think, is going to be trance again. They're doing this whole Addicted series, I think, to actually try and make it available to people. So, hopefully we won't hear too much of the lamenting about the MP3s, because I still think there's got to be a home for that.
Now, if you're a DJ and you're looking for a fully mixed MP3s and CDs and even vinyl, something like that, what would you suggest going?
Like music, like shopping wise?
Yeah.
You know what? With cell phones are great. My opinion, where I do most of my shopping, honestly, is there's great record stores in Toronto. Funky Buddha's fantastic. You get to order, mail out what you need. Release, Play D's. There's a ton of fine record stores. Where I really get most of my music from, though, is mail order from UK. A lot of people turn around and say, Juno. Juno's not a great source. You know what? Juno's, don't fool yourself, is a fantastic source. That company has everything, and you just got to know what you're looking for when you're on there. I use 23rd Precinct in Scotland is fantastic too. They're great. HTFR, if you're ever looking for something there. Yeah, there's so many really, really good guys. 3 Beat, it's fantastic mail order companies here, and pay the extra £5 and you got your stuff in like basically in 3 days. So that's what I do.
Now, switching beats, we are at WEMF, which is to some and many considered the largest rave in Canada. Now, looking to that, there's a lot of drug use and so on, both here and outside in raves in general. What would you say to a mother that had her 15-year-old son or daughter going to their first rave? What would you say to them that would convince them that, hey, this is a safe place to go as long as your kid's drug aware?
This is a tough one for me right now because I'd like to say some things that aren't... You know what, raves, I'm a father. I got 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and I'll tell you, I'd rather prefer my kids come to a rave than to go, say, to go see, a hip-hop show. And it's, they're starting to see some really bad vibes happen in Toronto over a lot of the urban scene, which is really hurting a lot of the clubs that are doing it. And I'll tell you, that stuff happens everywhere, but at raves, it's one of the safest environments that I still have to, compare it to everything else. There's a lot of drug use here. There's a hell of a lot of drug use everywhere else. But I'll tell you, raves are really, in my opinion, one of the safest environments. The nicest people involved in electronic dance music. There's attitudes are left at the door. I think in, I hate to say it, the 20 years that I've been around doing this, there is, I can't even remember the last fight I seen at a rave. So the drug use, that's in the household to be able to promote, either safety or, abstinence from it. But if parents are worrying about coming to a rave for their children being safe, they're safe here. And here at WEMF is a great example. We're at the Great Northern Exhibition, and the people here that actually run the place are probably all in their 60s. And you know what? They're fantastic. They walked around, they had absolutely no idea. And they said, you know what, this is a better crowd than the Ride for Sight that was here. And that tells me a lot right now. They said these kids are fantastic. It's exactly the opposite of what they expected. So, parents, come out and have a look.
Take your kid yourself, right?
That's right, man.
Now, just to finish up quickly, if you had the chance to spin anywhere in the world, where would it be? With whom?
That's a good one, man. You know what? It's a club that's gone. And there was a club in Greece. I'm Italian, so I went to Greece, and there was a place in Greece that, and I think it was either called Mercedes or Amazon, and I can't remember. And I was there with a good friend of mine, Peter the Greek, and we had just come from Amsterdam, and it was a bit of a mess, I'll tell you that. That place was fantastic, and I'm pretty sure it was called Mercedes. It was basically half outside this huge canopy thing. It looked like a jungle inside, and it was absolutely fantastic. And the guy that I would honestly choose to play there with would probably be, I'd like to say Johan, but probably my new favorite right now would be Eddie Halliwell.
Eddie, yes.
Yeah, you know what? That guy's just banging. Right, like I started off my set tonight with, I did a little bit of backwards because I played after St. Pete, and it was basically, he left it on a very, epic note. So I figured we're going to change things around. I opened up with a little bit of hard style. And you know what? The whole vibe that Eddie has, basically with the cutting and scratching and playing a lot of the hard, the Bosch sound, you know what? That guy, honestly, hypes the crowd. He keeps it going. Him. It would be Eddie Halliwell. Hands down.
Final contact info. How do we get a hold of you? And again, quick recap on this Republic.
There's a couple of websites, walterrosati.com. That one's easy enough. And you can go to republicnightclub.com about Republic, and it's going to be opening up October, hopefully, maybe November. We'll figure it out as soon as they, the construction gets going a little bit quicker. Be looking out for a very, very state-of-the-art sound system. I love the fact that these nightclubs right now are actually investing money into proper sound. It raises the bar, and we're going to raise it again. And we're going to get some surprises with the residents. I'll tell you, that's going to be for sure surprises with the residents. not just internationals.
So expect big things from Walter and Republic. That's Republic with a K, right?
Yeah, Republic with a K, but if you even go Republic with a C, it'll send you there too. I knew it was going to happen sooner or later. So
very good, very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And best of luck with the rest of WEMF here, and have a great night.
Thank you.
And before we go quickly, if you could do, hey, this is Walter Rosati. You're listening to DJ Amps on Amplified Radio or something like that.
DJ Amps on Amplified Radio?
Yeah.
Hey, this is DJ Walter Rosati, and you are listening to DJ Amps on Amplified Radio.
Perfect. And if you want to, in regards to that, the CD, is it okay if I play that full CD?
Go ahead.
Or do you want me to do something else?
No, play the whole CD.
Okay.
The only look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. The only thing that I would say is maybe
I'll make sure to watermark it. I will throw over "This is Walter Rosati" in the mix. I'll throw over "This is a promo," and stuff like that. So you don't have to worry anything about that.
No, that's fine. It's CMI anyway. So the only thing that I would have a concern about is the first two tracks. I'd started into probably just after the Paul Johnson, right? Because I think that one there's a vocal bit in there.
Okay, so I'll start it up halfway through. That sounds good. Actually, if you want to quickly do a voiceover for that, saying, "Hey, this is
on there.
Rosati." It's on the actual track, and where to get it?
Yeah, you'll be able to get it at. You can pick up Addicted Trance Session 1 at HMV. You're gonna have to ask for it, and Sunrise carry it. All the major retailers across Canada, Virgin Records, everybody.
All right, and I think we're done for Walter Rosati.
Well, I'm a thug and just,
Test.